So I'll do a short update. Left off from yesterday. Hobby e-waste mining. This is something else I'm working on. It's a coffee can full of pins and connectors. An assortment of all different kinds. Gold plated, silver plated, and base metals. So there's two parts of the batch. So what I'm doing is I already pulled a half ounce or so of this dark water here. It's colorful water. So I soaked it in hydrochloric drain cleaner, and it broke some stuff up and lightened up the material some, so it'll break down in water easier. So that's what it's doing. That's just water, and there's some hydrogen peroxide in there in this batch. But so you just keep mixing it up, stirring it up, and it breaks up the rust. And see, everything, the base metals are rust, and the precious metals, they'll fall off with rust. So collect all that stuff, put it in a container, and then let it settle, and collect it, what's at the bottom of the container after it settles and the water becomes clear again, and it will. And then whatever you collect at the bottom, take it to the frying pan and dry it out. This is kind of a lighter cloud. It's not really doing much at this point. This just keeps breaking it down. So setting it overnight, you just get all the material out in the air and let it dry out, and keep the water over to the side so the material will rust. You want it to rust. And the base metals, the precious metals won't rust. But they'll drop off the pins and everything, with the rust. So it's a lengthy process. We could use chemicals to break all the stuff down, but we'll just wear it down naturally. This is left off from yesterday. That's what's left over in the water. The pour-off water from yesterday, there's really nothing in there hardly. Get some light. Just a little tiny bit in the bottom. That's like a cup. Bottom of the Mountain Dew bottle is like a catcher. But these two are just the rinse offs. Really nothing in it. I mean, it's just water. Dump it right off. There's nothing there. And you start seeing that dark stuff coming up. See, there's a little bit left on the bottom. But that little stuff right there will, that's what it does. It clouds that right up. You spin that up lightly, and then pour the cloud off. When you spin it up, until you see sparkles start coming in the water, spin it up with it by hand. Spin it up, and you just let it settle for a little bit till you see the sparkles way down, and it'll be dark. And just pour it off. Same with these, or you can just pull it off with a suction. So those are the two rinse waters. Dusty stuff. That's rinsing and cleaning. You're gonna get some of the good stuff left in there. But we'll put that back in to be reprocessed, but not put it back in with the main batch. The main batch is in the cone shape. Because it collects at the cone shape in the bottom. This one is the second batch. This is, we mix it up and pour it off. At first, because it's going to be really heavy cloud, and and we put it in there, the heavy stuff goes to the bottom, and the real light stuff will stay up there, and you just pour it off over and over, and it'll get lighter and lighter, and that layer right there, the top layer right there, will disappear, and it'll pull the black stuff up out of there, or whatever it is. But what's in there is what's in here. That's what's ends up after. There's 3 layers of precious metals. But once you get a full batch, something more, in here, we can spin them up and separate those 3 layers in here, in this type of glass, in the cone shaped bottom. So we'll just mix that up. So light. See if you get some foreign object or something there, catch them, you can pick them out easier like this. But it's all kicked up, ready to pour. So we'll just take this one and you dump that off. So that's green stuff from something else. Won't come off the glass. But we'll just take what's left over in these. This one will probably fit in there. And then we let that settle till the water's clear. that can settle out and collect it back up. So that's some really fine stuff there. So you want to really put that back in. I mean, you could see when you pour off that there's no metals in it. So enough room. We will. We'll just leave that, see what it looks like. That's what that is, what comes out of the tall beaker. Really, you're gonna get some of that heavier material. There's not much of that in there. Over there, a little bit that'll settle back down, but just a little kick up of it. And it kicks that dust up, and you can pour it off. It's just carbon. See, the metals might be sticking to the walls of the side of the glass. So the sparkles are all the way up to the top just for that little bit I did. So there's really not much carbon or plastic left in the fiberglass left in there. Just a high concentration, obviously. So that'll just take a little bit to settle down, but the cloud will still be nice and dark. Once those sparkles settle down, we'll pour off the dark. It'll be pretty dark even though it's pretty thin. But you don't want to kick up anything down to that layer right there, because this black stuff is sitting on top of it from pulling it out. I'll spin it up and pulling it out of the stuff in the bottom. I'll just leave that for the next wash. Plus you can do this, tell if any metal is in there. There's nothing really. And so this stuff is a little bit of stuff in here, and then the top vial will make a big mess, and if I put it back in any of the other stuff, so This is my collection stuff for the real fine stuff. It could be, you know, something still in there. And there's a really teeny tiny layer in the bottom, but just let it settle. I can just, it's all black, even though it's a light color on the bottom. Any way you look at it up this way, it's black. Get some, move them over, you can see a little bit. So there's a little bit of sparkling left going in, but I'm going to pour it off anyway. We'll collect the little sparkles after. And you can see a difference in that right there, right there. That's where a lot of that black stuff collects, the carbon from burning it in the fire. You just like skim it, and it'll take that top layer off and clean up those bottom layers some. And we can just put it back in the second one, and we'll go back with the main batch. We're pulling that layer off. You don't want to go any further than that. Just see, you got a little bit of the bottom layer in there. So, you know, put it back in this one anyway. Oh, I put that in the wrong one. I put that in the good one. Shoot. That stuff's so heavy in the bottom, it's hardly even. So that's a different layer of precious metals too that's coming off the top layer. It's a black layer of precious metals. And you'll see the lighter condensing gold in the bottom layer. So there's little metal, I can feel them cleaning a glove up with a glove. They stick to the wall. And you can feel the metal and it's like sandpaper on the. Let me put this in the main batch. Use a spray, it uses a lot less water. Put that one in there. Put this one back in. There's not much in there. We'll wait for that to settle and we'll put that in there too. We'll go from there.